Hey everyone, this is John from JC Fine Arts, and this is Albany Art Talk. And we're here today, and we want to talk with somebody here in the local. He's a framing shop. By the way, be sure to share this and subscribe, because that's how it keeps us going, and we can really have more and more opportunities to share art companies and artists and work in the art industry. And so Alchemy Frame Shop,
Alacrity.
Alacrity, am I saying it right?
Now you are.
Yeah. And Brian here is the owner, and I wanted to have you here because I've seen your shop, and I know plenty of artists that go to it, and I don't see too many framing shops around. And he's really good. He does incredible work. So what got you into framing and working in the framing industry?
I was looking for a job 30-ish years ago, something to do with art, music, or literature, and there was a national chain that was hiring. So,
Well,
they were opening a new shop in the area. They don't exist anymore. Prince Plus was their name. But yeah, that's been doing it ever since.
how long have you been doing it?
About 30 years.
30 years. And what
Yeah,
was
actually,
the
30 years.
point when you decided to go into business for yourself?
The last company I worked for, the owner was passing away of cancer.
Oh,
So I was in the process of purchasing the business. That fell apart with the attorney. But it kind of set me on the road to opening my own thing one way or the other. So yeah.
well, that's great.
Yeah.
So I guess the next natural question to ask a guy who frames art, what is the most exciting or interesting art you've ever had to frame? And don't say mine.
I mean, we frame all sorts of things. We frame a lot of simple documents and paintings. We frame a lot of, normal things. But we also frame some weird objects from time to time, and those are pretty intriguing. Or
Oh, wow.
something that's not a rectangle is always a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a painting once where there was two canvases, one glued to another canvas, and it didn't occur to me at the time that this might become a framing issue. So, yeah, I can imagine how that can be difficult. So you've been doing this kind of thing, but you frame mostly artwork, or is it more of the time you're getting into a lot of documentation, or is it what's most common?
Mostly artwork. Yeah, mostly artwork. Original artwork, paintings, but also a lot of family photography. But also we're close enough to the Capitol that we're framing a lot of what are called pen certificates. Anytime an item becomes a law, they hand them out to all the government officials. So we frame a lot of those too.
Oh, cool. Cool.
So it's I couldn't say what our biggest percentage is. We had a government office order last year. They had about 2,000 frames of 2 different posters.
Oh boy,
Yeah, that was a nice job.
kept you busy for a while, huh?
Yeah. Spread out over 6 months or so. It was not a rush job by any means. Normally
Yeah.
we can do a lot quicker than that, but they didn't need it, so we could spread it out.
So with the young budding artists out there, and they're just starting to get going, and they want to get their work framed, and they're trying to get into galleries, and I know that's like a really big issue with young artists. I have the same issue, and I've been an artist for 40 years. What do you think? What advice would you give them as far as framing?
As far as framing, probably just go relatively simple. You want it to be, in most gallery shows, they want you to simple black, simple white, simple maple, something that's unobtrusive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in general for a gallery. If you want to do it for your home, I get bored with simple black, white, and maple if it's right for the piece. But in a lot of cases, it's not right for the piece. But galleries don't want anything creative in the frame.
Yeah.
But for your home, we prefer to go a little more fun.
Do you think it's like more important for them to use gallery ready canvas, or can they do it on regular canvas?
You can do whatever.
The thinner
you can
stuff
work on whatever. Yeah, once you put that in a frame, the frame's going to hold it from warping out of shape too much if it hasn't warped to begin with. A lot of those thinner ones do come from the store already warped.
Yeah, they do have the 0.50 thickness, and then they have the 3/4 inch thick, and then the inch, and the different widths and stuff.
We can restretch it if it comes to us warped. That sometimes has to be the case. You have to start. So the canvas is fine, but the wood behind it is not so good.
Yeah.
And we can fix that up.
Yeah. So in the area of repair, because I know I've had problems with this, and I had to retouch a print somebody had, which is difficult because first of all, it's not acrylic or oil; it's printed with ink.
Sure.
So I had to go in and repair this print for them, and when it was done, getting it framed and reframed, that's going to work for that particular print. Taking it apart was one heck of a job. How do you handle that kind of thing? The next time I'm not doing it myself, I'll tell you that.
In terms of fixing something, if it's something original or has any value, we're not going to fix anything, because you're messing with its original value. You want to talk to a conservator about something like that. If it's a canvas, they can attach a new piece of canvas behind a hole or something like that, and then touch it up. That's a time-consuming process, and they have the right training and chemicals. We're really just doing the framing. If someone asks us to touch something up on their own piece that isn't something specifically of value, we're willing to take a slight touch up on it. But we can touch up the frame a little bit more because that's our area of expertise. But different papers soak up ink differently. You never know what's going to happen, and you might make it too dark. And once it's too dark, you can't turn back.
Yeah. I mean, especially with oils. Yeah. I do some repair to canvas on my own stuff, but I would never touch anything of significant value for sure.
Yeah, I've done it for an artist before, and then a few months later, the $100+ thing of adhesive that I bought for that one project was already ruined.
Yeah,
and it's not something we tend to do, but
yeah, it's pretty much a general rule with newer canvas. Once it's ripped, it's done, because they don't make it the way they used to. Linen canvas used to be the big deal.
Sure.
And nobody uses linen anymore. Most common artists don't. It's expensive, So then you are on Lark Street.
Yep.
Are you a big part of the Lark Fest?
Well, so Lark Fest didn't go on last year.
No, it didn't.
Didn't go on. I don't know if it went on in 2024 or not. I don't remember. I'd have to do some research.
I haven't been to it in a while, and I wondered if you had ever been.
We always have a tent out there. I mean, we always have a tent for Lark Fest, and Art on Lark's a little bit more our speed specifically. But it lets people know we're here. Even if Lark Fest doesn't necessarily bring us business per se, because people are looking at a lot of things. But it does let them know we're there, so it does bring back business in the future.
So Art on Lark is kind of like the replacement of that.
Art on Lark. Well, we had Art on Lark and Lark Fest going on side by side for a decade. So that was going on, well, more than a decade. It was going on in the 2010s, even before we were in Albany, even before we set up our shop. But I think the people in charge don't seem to like Lark Fest 'cause it's a little too rowdy.
It is kind of a beer thing.
But then we have Perlapalooza, which is the same idea, and they don't think that's too rowdy. I don't know what the difference is. I'm completely a proponent of Lark Fest, even though it doesn't specifically bring business to me. It does bring people to the neighborhood. It lets people know about our neighborhood, and bringing back any revitalization, any of the festivals we've ever had on the street before, I'm always happy to have.
It does help the art industry, I think.
Yeah.
It starts to
But
help.
Lark Fest is a little bit more a slower speed. It's people looking at art. They're not as much of drinking. There is some, but it's not. So it's a little more quaint type of situation. Still a pretty busy day.
Yeah.
And that's more, we'll make a little more business out of that. But yeah.
Wow.
Talk to a lot of artists too.
I think it's a great event. Now we have some photos of some of your samples and stuff. Then we'll show them on the video here and let people see that. And there's some really amazing shit. I mean, I've never seen so many frame samples.
We like to have a large variety of options. We have, we have the stuff we have in house, but we have a lot of different options. We have things.
It's the wall of samples that really kind of amazed me. That was pretty cool. And the kitty on the pillar. That when I was there, I was taking photos, and there was this little cat,
Clara.
and he was just sitting on this pillar.
She's our greeter. That's Clara.
She's your greeter?
Yep.
The company mascot, right?
Yep, one of them.
One of them. So, well, I guess that's it's a nice place, and it's very local and convenient, and you need that because online services tend to be hard to get delivered on time. The shipping issues, damage when it comes. When I go into a gallery, I like my stuff to look crisp.
Sure.
And the last thing you want to do is do a really beautiful painting or something on substandard material and not frame it. You know what I mean? You want to have it look really professional.
Yeah.
And you guys do incredible work. You really do.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It's firsthand knowledge, you know. So, but would you say that you lean more toward the art industry, or is it more? You said you do some big accounts though.
Yeah, we do all sorts of different things. But yeah, we tend to focus more toward artists. We
Yeah.
have artist discounts, things like that. We like to encourage the artists to kind of finish the project. We're kind of, finish that edge, make their art look a little bit better. Yeah. Our frame shouldn't stand out. It should make it finish it. So
Yeah, you don't want that big gaudy gold frame around that
unless
nice
that
little painting.
fix the piece. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this with me. And everyone, listen, if you can share this, and if you wouldn't mind becoming part of this, and tell your friends, But I have to say, if you're looking to get framework done or anything like that, you have any art you want to get framed, or just want some advice in general, these guys really are there for you. It's not always about the business. They're willing to talk to you. I've experienced that myself. When there's a problem or an issue, you can get the answer. And it's been interesting conversation.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking the time.
No problem.
All right. And thanks for coming. And this is Albany Art Talk. Thanks.